Hello, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Ian Green, and I'm the musician for Music Dreams and also for Ian J. Green, two different artist profiles you can find wherever you stream your music. And it is my pleasure today to work on part one of Unit 4 of the Royal Conservatory Level 10 Harmony course. This is a series of tutorials that are to outline some of the important details of the course and also to help create some study notes for students to use. Now, today we're going to be looking at the interesting spelling of various types of seventh chords, specifically the leading tone seventh chord. Now, something that's interesting is that in a major scale versus a minor scale, the leading tone seventh chord is spelled slightly differently. Now, what do I mean by that? How do we work through that? Let's say we're in the scale of C major. Then the seventh note would be B. And if we create a triad on B using the notes of C major, we would spell the chord B, D, and F. Now, if we wanted to create a leading tone seventh chord, that means creating the diminished triad and then adding as well a seventh above that, which would be A. Now, technically, this means that the seventh chord on this note is actually a half-diminished seventh chord because we have a diminished triad plus also a minor seventh added together. And so the diminished seventh chord symbol is actually highlighted right here with the 7, and then there's like a little circle with a slash through it, and then you have the seventh as well. Now, the diminished seventh chord, a fully diminished seventh chord, would be in any kind of minor key, for example, C minor, where we have the raised leading tone of B natural. So the same diminished triad is created, but then we use a diminished seventh above that triad, which then creates the fully diminished seventh chord, or also including the sixth scale degree in that chord itself. Now, something that's interesting is that because of that quality between the two chords, the diminished seventh chord in a minor key is actually very favorable. It's a chord that just has kind of a dramatic quality. And then when we move from the diminished seventh chord to the one chord, it's got a very pleasing sense of quality and resolution as well. Now, something that's very interesting, what we can go to in further detail, is to describe why does it sound this way it does. How does it work to sound so satisfying? Well, if we actually look at the spelling of the notes and compare the notes of the diminished seventh chord of any scale, of any minor key, to the dominant seventh chord of the same scale, we'll see how there are some notes that are similar. In the scale of C minor, the 5 chord is G, B, D, which is G major, and then if you add a seventh as well, we have G, B, D, F. Now, if we play the diminished seventh chord of that key, of which we outlined just a moment ago, B natural, D, F, A flat, you can see how there are 3 notes that are the same: B, D, and F. So 3 of those notes, the leading tone, the supertonic, and then the subdominant notes, or the scale degrees 7, 2, and 4, all have a certain direction they want to go. The leading tone always will move up to the tonic. The second note of the scale can move down to the tonic or up to the third. And then the fourth note of the scale can move down to the third or up to the dominant. So there's a very pleasant and natural progression between three of those notes of the diminished seventh chord. And also, with the diminished seventh chord and the dominant seventh chord being spelled so carefully the same, with three notes exactly the same, it's not uncommon for composers to use the diminished seventh chord as a way to decorate a musical sentence. And then also it creates a slightly different sonority or sound. Now, something that's neat is that the diminished seventh chord can be used as a secondary diminished chord, or a secondary dominant, if you will, because a lot of those notes are so much the same as the dominant seventh chord. So here you can see in this example we have diminished seventh of 5 going to 5, also known as F sharp diminished 7 going to G major, then going to C minor. You can see how there's a lot of richness that is incorporated here. So it's really fun to share this information and also to help offer some insight. And we'll learn in the next tutorial how the diminished seventh chord can be used and also how to spot it easily. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.